Welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you're here because today I'm going to do something with the camper that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that is to install a keyless entry system.
Welcome to my cluttered garage. You know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah!
This is the Latch-It brand keyless RV door lock. There are other brands out there, and I'll tell you later why I chose this particular brand. Now, these RV locks fit more than just camping trailers. They fit most towable campers, but they also fit a lot of horse trailers and a lot of utility trailers, so they are pretty convenient. Now, they all run around $250, and that may seem excessive, but bear with me. Now, first of all, this popped up on a flash deal on Amazon for $180, so I saved $70 right off the bat. $180 still may seem excessive, but here's the thing. Last time we went camping, my wife got soaked in a rainstorm because I wasn't around and she couldn't get in the camper. So $180 may be money well spent. Now, here's something that is excessive. I ordered this at noon and it was here the same day before 6 p.m. Now that's crazy. Anyway, let's open this thing up. I'll show you what's inside and we'll put it on and test it out. In the box, of course, you're going to find the latch, but you're also going to get a set of backup keys, new door strike hardware, batteries are included, there's a gasket, there are 2 wireless key fobs, a nice little Latch-It keychain, all the documentation. It even comes with this cute little screwdriver. The box includes everything you need to install this latch. In fact, I'm thinking it may take you longer to watch this video than to actually install it. But let's do it. The first thing we have to do is just remove the old latch, including the strike mechanism. So I'm just going to take all these screws out. Now these screws are really tiny, so be careful. You want to hold on to them, even though it includes everything you need. You know, keep your old hardware, because you never know if you need it. Even though the latch came with that little screwdriver, I'm using my own for this. Now the outside handle comes out by kind of racking it on an angle a little bit and working with it just until you get the right. There we go. And that pulls right out. Now be aware that these locks are specifically designed for 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 openings. So you do want to confirm that you have the right opening on your camper. Again, it's going to be most campers, but there are some that it may not fit. The factory latch didn't have a gasket, but the new one includes a rubber gasket. So I'm just going to clean this up with a damp paper towel before we stick the gasket on there. The new latch comes with the outer and the inner latch connected, so you have to disassemble it before you put it in the camper. Same type of 4 simple screws to take it apart. Now you put the outside latch in place first, and this can be a bit of a tight fit. You also have a couple of wires here that you want to make sure you feed through and make sure they're not pinched. There's a small red wire here that looks like it's not connected to anything, but that's actually the antenna for the transmitter for those wireless fobs. So don't worry about that not being connected, but just make sure it's not pinched. And the gasket is already in place on the back of this latch. That other gasket is a bigger one in case you need it. But again, mine didn't have any gasket at all in the old one, so this small one that's in place already is going to be just fine. Now I'll plug the wires in, make sure they're not pinched anywhere, and connect the inside latch. Now normally I love to use my impact driver for everything, but because this door is made out of fiberglass and foam, I want to feel how tight I'm getting with this, and it's important not to over tighten these locks. Now the latch comes with all new strike hardware. Seems as though it's the exact dimensions of the old, so I assume they include this for maybe new trailer builds where you don't have any hardware at all. So you probably can use your old. I'm going to install the new. The other thing is, I would recommend that you install this strike hardware before you do your final tightening of the latch so that everything's lined up. Very nice. Now the latch is installed, we can put the batteries in and program the codes. Now, the reason I bought this latch, I mentioned that early in the video, you know, there are other latches out there, ones that you probably see advertised more than this one, and it's a very popular latch. But I went with this one because of reviews that I've read. This one is all metal construction, which I really like. The only thing that's not metal is the battery compartment cover. But the inside latch, the outside latch, it's all metal, much like the factory version. So I do like that. It does have good reviews, so I'm hoping it was a good choice. On the inside of this latch is where you'll find the battery compartment. That's what we need this little screwdriver for. There are also 3 buttons on here. On the very bottom, you've got this on-off switch, and what that does is it disables the fob. If you don't want to use that fob system, you can turn it off. So you've got that, and then there's a small button. You need a little pin or a little paper clip to push that in, and that's part of the process to train the fobs to learn the code. And then above that is a code reset, and what that does is like basically a factory reset of the latch if you have any problems at all. And we'll get into programming once we get these batteries in place. Do not drop the screw. Do not drop the screw. It beeps. Do not drop the screw. I did not drop the screw. All right, program time. Now the factory code is 1234. Brilliant. Anyway, you hit the code and then you hit the unlock button or the lock button, depending on what you want to do. We're going to lock it because right now it's unlocked. So we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, lock. Confirmation beep, and there it is. To unlock, 1, 2, 3, 4, unlock. There we go. Now, keep in mind you've got these spare keys, and if you lock the upper lock with your key, the keyless lock is not going to help you whatsoever because that only works the deadbolt. So if you lock the top, you're still out of luck. So that's just for added security. Programming the lock is pretty straightforward as long as you follow the directions carefully. If you leave any step longer than 5 seconds, it'll cancel out. So you have to do every step within 5 seconds of the last step. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly here. First, you press and hold the number 8 button for 2 seconds. Then you tap the lock button while you're holding the number 8 button. Then you type in the old code, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and hit the lock button. And then you type in your new code. Let's go with 5555. Hit the lock button. Again, 5555. Lock button. And now it's programmed. Let's try it. 5555. Lock. Got the confirmation beep. 5555. Unlock. There it is. And as you can see, we have a nice backlit keypad. These fobs have a nice feel to them. Now there's a process for communicating between the fob and the lock to program the fob, but these came pre-programmed. They work just fine. Hit the lock button and unlock. So they're ready to go. Now one complaint with the earlier versions of this model is that people didn't really like that beep that you get all the time. So with this model, you can disable the beep just by holding the number 1 for several seconds, and that disables the beep. No beep. If you want the beep, just press and hold the number 1 again. And got your beep back. As you can see, we're losing daylight, so we got this project done just in time. My initial impression of this Latch-It keyless door lock is that it's very good quality. I'm really impressed with it. It has good reviews, and we'll see how it holds up. Hey, if you like the video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so. It's free, and if you're around on Monday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, jump on one of our live streams and join us in the live chat. It's always a lot of fun. So that's going to do it for me tonight. Time for me to lock up and get out of here. Cool.